Great. Again, thank you so much for taking time this evening to have me present and for you to learn about ill-able accounts. I will be stopping during the middle of the program to take questions and more questions at the end. We'll also share my email address with anyone who needs it. I'm always available to answer questions or help you with anything that you need regarding ill-able accounts. So we have a disclaimer. The information provided in this webinar is not intended to provide legal, tax, benefits, or investment advice. You should consult your own financial, tax, legal, or benefits advisor about your specific circumstance. The Illinois ABLE Plan Disclosure Booklet contains more information about the plan, including investment objectives, risks, fees, and expenses. You should read it carefully before opening an account. You can read the full disclosure and obtain the plan disclosure booklet at illinoisable.com website or by calling customer service. And this information is subject to change. So who's going to benefit from tonight's webinar? I'm not going to read everything here, but any individual who is disabled, who has legal capacity, family and friends who have a disabled person that they know and they care about, and then anyone who is a disability advocate or organization or an advisor will benefit from hearing tonight's presentation. So what you're going to learn tonight is what are ABLE accounts, and then we're going to go through the nuts and bolts of what benefits and how they work with ABLE, the essentials of the plan. We're also going to talk about eligible adults who have legal capacity and how they can open and manage accounts for themselves, and then how accounts can be opened and managed by someone that's called an authorized individual. And again, we will be taking questions. So what are ABLE accounts? ABLE was passed in 2014 by the federal government. Illinois started our ABLE plan in 2017. ABLE is an acronym for Achieving a Better Life Experience. An ABLE account is a tax advantage account that allows people with disabilities to own and save and invest money that will not affect their federal benefits, such as SSI and Medicaid. And it's available for them to use for a wide variety of expenses. The common reason that folks open ABLE accounts is it allows individuals to save and invest money without worrying about asset caps for federal benefits. So ABLE funds are never counted in the asset test to receive federal benefits. An ABLE account also helps individuals who are receiving benefits to not worry about the spend down at the end of the month. So if you're receiving SSI benefits, at the end of a month, you can only have $2,000 in a traditional checking account. But with an ABLE account, you can keep much more, and we'll go through that in a few minutes. And with an ABLE account, it also lets individuals with disabilities to plan for things they need. So they may need something today, they may need something 6 months down the road, or they're going to buy a larger dollar amount item that's going to take them a year or 2 years to save for. But ABLE allows them to actually plan out their financial spending. So benefits of an ABLE account. So if you are an individual who is receiving SSI benefits, you can keep up to $100,000 in an ABLE account without benefits being impacted. So if you hit $100,000, your SSI benefits will not be terminated. They will be just placed on hold till you get the account to $100,000 or less. And then we also have individuals with disabilities who are not receiving SSI benefits, and they can have up to $500,000 in the account. And that's someone like myself. I have a disability. I was diagnosed at birth. I am not receiving SSI benefits. So because of that, I can keep up to $500,000 in my account because I'm not worried about preserving my SSI benefits. And then again, The funds in an ill-able account, the assets in the account will not affect public benefits such as Medicaid, SSDI, HUD, SNAP, and FAFSA. They will not count those assets in the able account towards how much you're going to get of those benefits and if you are eligible for those benefits. Another great benefit about having an ill-able account is that your benefits can be directly deposited into an able account. So, how much can you put into an able account? So this year in 2025, up until December 31st, you can put $19,000 in your able account. And that comes from all places. So no matter the money, total $18,000. Another great thing about having an ill-able account is anyone can contribute to your account. And if they live in Illinois and pay state taxes in Illinois, you can get an Illinois state tax deduction. And that tax deduction is up to $10,000 if you file individual, $20,000 if you file joint. So that's a great advantage. And an able account can be an alternative to or an add-on to a special needs trust. So we have individuals that have special needs trusts that also have ill-able accounts. We also have folks that are never going to have a special needs trust and they just have their able account. An able account, as well as a trust, can be used for paying for housing or utilities. So another great thing about having an able account is if the person who is disabled works and they do not contribute to their employer retirement fund, they can put in additional money above the $19,000 a year up to the poverty guideline of $15,060. So an example is, let's say someone works, they make $10,000 a year as a greeter at Walmart, they can put the $19,000 in plus the $10,000 of which they earn. So that allows you to place more money annually into the able account. And again, you can do this by payroll direct deposit. There's more information about this on our website and in the plan disclosure booklet. So if anyone's interested in that, our website's the place to go. So account essentials. One of the great things about an able account is the person with the disability is always the owner and the beneficiary. An able account is not under mom and dad's name or your guardian's name or a friend's name. It's always in your name under your Social Security number. So again, the account is owned by and the beneficiary of the person with the disability. And then able accounts are available to any citizen or resident that has a Social Security card, taxpayer ID, that is living in these states or in a military base. And then another thing to remember is you can only have one able account. You can't have multiple able accounts. So I have an ill-able account. I cannot open a second ill-able account, nor can I go to another state and open up another account. It's one account per individual per Social Security number. So everyone wants to know, well, what can I do when I put my money in the able account? What can I spend my money on? So you can spend your on something that's called a qualified disability expense. And when the law was written, it was written very broadly so that as many things as possible are covered. And the law was written so that it allows people to maintain the quality of health, quality of life, and independence of the account holder. These expenses are not limited to medically necessary. You don't need a prescription to spend money from an able account. And other people besides the account owner can get a benefit from the account. And I'll explain more about that in a minute. And then qualified disability expenses can also be basic living expenses, rent, groceries, utilities. So again, you can use your money for various things. Another thing to remember is as long as you have money in an able account, You can spend your money. You can make as many withdrawals as you want, as long as the money is used for qualified disability expenses and there's enough money in the account to cover what you take out. And then earnings and withdrawals are tax and penalty free as long as they're used for qualified disability expense. So we have some examples of qualified disability expenses. So education, this could be a 2-year college, a 4-year college, it could be classes at a park district, classes at a museum, classes over the internet. This could be for additional tutoring or materials for school, like a compression wear or stress preventative measures for schools. So again, anything for educational related expenses, you can use your money on. Housing, rent, utilities, groceries, all of that is covered. Transportation, I call this trains, planes, and automobiles. So taxi cabs, Ubers, buses, trains, airfare, rental of a disability equipped vehicle, purchase of a disability equipped vehicle. It's all covered by your money in ill able. So if you need employment training or job coaching and you need to get coached in and pay for it, your money can be used at that. Assistive technology. This goes from everything from special software like JAWS software for visually impaired folks to retrofitting an apartment with an doorbell. Instead of an auditory sound, it has a visual sound for folks that are hearing impaired. Large screen TVs, larger screen monitors, a special cell phone, special technology for cell phones, personal support services. So if you need someone to go grocery shopping for you, if you need someone to clean your house for you, if you need someone to drive you to a doctor's appointment, this is all covered by ABLE. And then healthcare prevention and wellness. This is above and beyond your medical insurance. So over the counter medications, physical therapy, going to a health club, going to a swimming club, anything that's going to make you physically better or help you with both mental health and physical health. Financial management and administrative services, legal fees. So if you know that you are going to have a special needs trust and you're going to need an attorney to create the special needs trust, you can use the money from an ill able account to pay the attorney to create the special needs trust. Likewise, if you need an attorney to create a guardianship, you can use the money in the able account to create the guardianship. And then funeral and burial expenses can also be taken out of an able account. One thing that you have to know is you must keep your receipts for your records of your expenses. The only governmental agency that would ever question you about an ABLE account is the IRS, and they can audit ABLE accounts. Now, since the plan started in 2014, no ABLE account has been audited as of today. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but as of today, no account has been audited, but you must keep your receipts for your records. So where does the money come from to put in your ABLE account? Again, it can come from gifts from family and friends. I have a girlfriend, Laura, whose son is profoundly autistic. And she always tells people if you're going to buy him a gift for holidays, birthdays, graduations, if you're going to spend $50, buy something for $25 for him and give her the other $25 to put in his ABLE account. Small inheritances, insurance settlements, tax refunds. And then again, you can do direct payroll deposit from an authorized individual or account owner. And then you can put distributions from special needs trusts into your ABLE account. Again, check with your attorney on what type of special needs trust you have. And then you can roll over a 529 college savings plan into an ABLE account. You can also place your SSA benefits into the ABLE account. Just remember that if you do put SSA benefits into the account, whoever is the fiduciary responsible person, such as the SSA rep payee, must be on the account as an authorized individual to allow that to happen. So Where does your money go? What do you put your money in when you enroll? So ABLE is a self-directed plan. We do not tell you where or how to invest your money. We give you options, and then you make the decision from the options that we offer where you put your money. So we have 7 asset allocation investment options, and we also have a checking account. Now, the 7 asset allocation options, 6 of them have stock market components, which means that obviously stock market goes up and down. So there is risk with those 6. We do have something brand new, the money market, which does not have any bonds or stock market component. So there is no risk to a money market account. We also have a checking account option, and Fifth Third Bank works with ABLE. So the checking account is through Fifth Third Bank. It's FDIC insured. You get a real-time debit card. You have access to over 40,000 free ATMs, unlimited check writing, and no overdraft fees. So you can have the checking account option, and you can have something in the asset allocation option. So for example, you may want the money market and the checking account, or you may want the conservative option and the checking account, or you may want the aggressive option, the money market, and the checking account. This is totally up to you. You have to remember, though, that you cannot go to a Fifth Third Bank to open an ABLE account. This account can only be opened through our website, online, or via a paper application downloaded from our website. So what are the fees on an ABLE account? Well, we have an annual fee to everyone who has an ABLE account. And if you take e-delivery, it's $31 a year, but it's charged quarterly, which is $775. Or you can take paper delivery of your statements and notifications and confirmations. That's $56 or $14 a quarter. But we highly recommend taking e-delivery. And then if you have one of the 7 asset allocation investment options, the fee is 0.30 to 0.36. So what that means is, if you have the money market option, that's 0.36%. So if you have $1,000 in the money market, you are going to pay $3.06 on that investment option. And then with the checking account option, you're also going to get regular monthly statements, just like you would with any other checking account. And there's a $2 monthly checking account fee with that. But if you take e-delivery, or you have an average balance of $250 or more, then that $2 is waived. We highly recommend, again, that you sign up for e-delivery. That way you never have to worry about that monthly checking account fee. These are all the fees. There are no hidden brokerage fees. There are no cash out fees. This is it. So opening and managing an account. So who is eligible for an ABLE account? So first and foremost, right now, the disability had to have started before the age of 26. Now in January 1st of 2026, that is going to go up to age 46. So right now, disability has to have started before the age of 26. January 1st, 2026, disability has to have started before the age of 46. And then one of the next 3 things is true. So we have a person whose disability started before the age of 26, and that person is entitled to SSI or SSDI because of a disability. Or the disability started before the age of 26, and the individual has a condition on the Social Security Administration's compassion allowance list. Or the person's disability started before the age of 26, and they are blind or have a medically determinable physical or mental impairment that results in marked or severe functional limitation that is expected to last longer than 12 months, and you have a written diagnosis from a physician. So it's before 26, and then one of those 3 things. When you enroll, either online or with the paper enrollment form, you do not have to send us a diagnosis. We don't want to see that. You keep that for your records. So, who can open an account? So, once you figure out if you're eligible, who can open up an account? So, if we have someone that is under the age of 18, then a parent, a guardian, or an authorized individual who is legally authorized to work on behalf of the minor can open and manage the account on behalf of the person under the age of 18. If we have an adult that is 18 or older and they have legal capacity, which means they are not under guardianship, that person can open the account and manage it for themselves. So, someone like myself, I'm over 18, I'm not under guardianship, I open and manage my own ABLE account. Now, if my disability started to get worse or I got sick and I needed help managing my ABLE account, I could give someone a power of attorney and then they would be a co-manager on the account with me. So they would manage the account as well as myself. So that way, if I get sick, they can take care of it. Now, if we have someone that's 18 or older that does not have legal capacity, which means they are under guardianship, then the person with the guardianship would be the authorized individual on the account, and they would manage the account on behalf of the person with the disability who does not have legal capacity. So in November 20th of 2022, the federal government put in place on the left-hand side what's called the order of priority. The order of priority goes from the highest to the lowest. So power of attorney is the highest. The lowest is the SSA Rep AE. When you enroll, either online or with a paper application, you have to first figure out which one of the 7 people you are on the left, and you are going to certify under penalty of perjury that you are who you say you are, that you are the legal guardian, power of attorney, spouse, parent, sibling, grandparent, and rep payee. Now, some of these things may overlap. So you may have a power of attorney that's also an SSA rep payee, or a spouse or a parent or a legal grandparent. You can also be a rep payee and be any of the above. The other thing too is you have to remember that if there's someone higher on the list than you should probably check with them first before opening the account, because they could come along and take over the account. When you certify, you have to say that there's no one higher on the list that's willing to and able to act as the authorized individual. So if you're an SSA rep payee and a parent decides that they want the account, they can take the account over. So I'm going to stop here and see if anyone has questions right now.
Yes, I wanted to ask, is there any other bank that you are associated with other than Fifth Third Bank?
No, that's the only bank.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Margaret. Any other questions? Okay, we'll go on. So the authorized individual must always administer the account on behalf of the account owner, and federal law prohibits the authorized individual from acquiring a beneficial interest in the ABLE account during the account owner's lifetime. So what that means is an authorized individual cannot use money out of the ABLE account to pay themselves for managing an ABLE account. So everyone wants to know what happens if the account owner, the person with the disability, passes away. So what you should know is this: while the account owner is alive, they can designate a successor beneficiary. But because the law is written the way it's written, the successor beneficiary has to be a sibling with a disability. It cannot be anyone else than a sibling with a disability. So that's first. Second is when someone passes away, then a friend or a family member or the authorized individual needs to call us and let us know that the account owner has passed away. Once that happens, the person who is legally responsible for the estate of the person who has passed away can get us to pay out any last qualifying disability expenses, including funeral and burial expenses. Once we pay out the disability expenses, the account is frozen for 180 days. And when you call us, we're going to send you a package of papers. One is to get the last expenses, like funeral and burial expenses, out, and also a list of other things that we'll need, like the death certificate, to pay out the remaining money, a small estate form, an account distribution form. So after 180 days, the person or entity who is the legal authority to administer the deceased account can submit those papers. And then if there's a successor beneficiary on the account and they are a sibling, the funds will be rolled over from the existing ABLE account to the new person's ABLE account. You have to remember that a state Medicaid agency can still recover from the estate on factors such as the type of Medicaid benefits received in the individual state's Medicaid policy and the account owner's state of residence. Now, in Illinois, our Medicaid agency, HFS, modified their estate recovery law. And that means that Medicaid recipients here in Illinois who died on or after July 1st of 2022, HFS will not recover any funds against the first $25,000 of the estate. And for more information on that, we recommend that you go to hfs.illinois.gov or talk to a legal professional. But you have to remember too that not just because you've got Medicaid does not mean that they are going to recover. It depends on what type of Medicaid you're getting from. Annie, you've got a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually had a question from before and I couldn't find my raise hand.
Okay.
All right. Can I go back for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is a compassionate allowance list?
So you go to the Social Security Administration's website, and there's a list of disabilities that are listed under the compassionate allowances. So things that are not basically standard types of disabilities, a lot of them are covered under compassionate allowances.
Okay. Such as my daughter has hydrocephalus and cerebral palsy. Is that covered? Do you know?
You would have to check. I don't know
Fine.
all of them, and I don't want to say anything, but you can go there. They list everything. There's a whole section on ABLE, and they'll tell you what disabilities are accepted.
Okay. And then when you were showing the different kinds of investment, I missed something there. You have to do that, or you can choose to do that? Or is that how you choose? Okay.
When you enroll in the plan, you're going to be choosing from this allotment of things. So we have 7 investment options. 6 of them have bonds and stocks. One of them, the money market, does not. That's a cash or cashflow equivalent. So there's no risk with that. And we have the checking account. So you can choose what you want. You can have a checking account plus the money market. You could have aggressive and money market and checking account. You can do just checking account. So you would make this decision on where you want to invest the money for your family.
Okay. And did you just say you could do a couple different things?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You
That answers that. Thank you.
And moderately conservative and the checking account.
Okay.
It's kind of mix and match here.
Okay.
Or smorgasbord, as my mom would say.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Does the Medicaid clawback rule take into account money they paid for a personal assistant?
You would have to check with them or a benefits specialist. I don't know exactly what's covered or not, but I do know that not all items that someone receives Medicaid assistance for would trigger clawback. And again, with their change of law, they're not going to recover on the first $25,000 of a deceased person's account.
Okay.
And most individuals with disabilities who are receiving SSI are not going to have $25,000. They wouldn't be receiving SSI if they had $25,000 in an estate other than an ABLE account. Our average balance on an ABLE account, because it's a transactional account, is about $13,000 because people put money in the account to use. They're not building wealth for the next generation. So people put money in and then they take money out because they need to use it. Like I said, I myself am an account owner. I have part of my disability is my bones are deteriorating. So I just recently got a lift chair to help me stand up from a seated position. So I use part of my ABLE money to buy that. So I put money in, I take money out.
Right.
Any other
Okay.
questions?
There's one more in the chat.
Okay.
So it says our daughter's sibling has low vision but isn't blind. Would that count as a disability so that they can be listed as a beneficiary?
You would have to go to the Social Security Administration's website to see if that's covered. Definitely if she was eligible for SSI benefits, she would be covered, but I would check with the SSA website. Any other questions? Okay, let's go on. So, how to enroll, where to enroll. So all you need to enroll is $25. We're not asking for a lot to get you started. You would go online to our website, illinoisable.com. Our website has everything in this presentation plus a lot more information that I'm not giving you this evening. There's an online enrollment function, so you can go right there and enroll. When you enroll, you're going to need some things. You're going to need Social Security numbers, addresses, email address. If you're going to be an authorized individual, you'll need both the account owners and your Social Security number, mailing addresses. So get all your things together, driver's license, all that kind of good stuff. State ID for those that don't drive. Excuse me. Or you can print off, excuse me, an enrollment form and you can fill it out at your leisure, and then you're going to mail that back to us, or you can fax it back to us. We also have a customer service department that you can call Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Again, they're on our website. You can call them and ask questions. You can also email me if you get hung up or have any other questions. If you come up with a question down the road, you can call me. When you open an ILL-ABLE account, again, you have to do it through our website. There are other websites out there that are from other states that look like there are ILL-ABLE accounts, but they're actually not. Virginia and Maryland have websites that make it look like you're getting an ILL-ABLE account, but you're really not. So please be aware of that. You can't go to a brick and mortar bank, a financial advisor, or an attorney to open an ABLE account. One other thing to keep in mind is that people from other states can open an ILL-ABLE account. We have folks in Wisconsin that open ILL-ABLE accounts because Wisconsin does not have an ABLE program. So they come to Illinois to use our ABLE program. We also have a newsletter that comes out monthly. It's going to be coming out on the 17th of this month. We ask everyone to sign up for it because this is the best way for you to keep updated on changes of law, tips and tricks on how people are using and what they're spending money on. It's accessible news and updates. You can go to our website, illinoisable.com, sign up for there. There's also brochures on our website that you can download and print out and use. So that's the place to go, illinoisable.com. So that's everything that I have. Does anyone have any other questions? Anything that I can help with?